Relationships often start very well with a lot of passion, a lot of presence, a lot of love. And that's normal because that's what everybody wants. But unfortunately, certain things happen. When you look at them very clearly, you know it's time to go. I'm going to give you here a few points on how to recognize that it may be time to go and your story is over. Number one, it's what I call the yo-yo relationships. A yo-yo relationship is that you have one day of very good moments. You really enjoy each other. You really play with one another. And the next day, it's a war. And now, don't get me wrong. Relationships, healthy ones, are supposed to be like this. Meaning, one day you feel well, the next day you're not so well. And having disagreements is just part of the game. It's just normal. However, when you feel like most of the time you are arguing about stupid things instead of rejoicing in being together, you're supposed to be enjoying one another's time. You're supposed to be doing good things together, bringing positiveness in the next person next to you, bringing happiness, bringing passion, rejoicing together, laughing, and not fighting over stupid things. Who didn't clean the kitchen? Who didn't close the door? Who didn't who didn't flush the toilet? Your partner might not be perfect, and that's just normal. However, when you begin seeing every single little negative thing in everything they do, it's maybe time to go. Number two, indifference in a relationship. You maybe have some issues you need to speak to your partner about. Let's say you ask him not to scream at you in public or not to talk to you in a disrespectful way in private or in front of people. And you feel like they don't listen to you. They do the same thing over and over with disregard of your feelings. You show them something that's important to you. They don't show you the same passion, the same pressure. They don't give you the same power. They just disregard it because it's not important to them. You ask them to come to a meeting, an event that's important to you, and they just come back late because they don't care or what you're going to do. That just shows disregard on how you feel. And it's very difficult to build something sustainable with somebody like that. It's maybe time to reconsider.
But let's talk in a way that can give us some faith to go around.
It's maybe time to go when you feel like the effort comes from one side. Now, understand one thing. When things go wrong, because they're going to go wrong, it's just normal in a normal relationship to go wrong sometimes, to have difficulties, issues, disagreements. It's part of the game. However, when every time you have problems, you're the only one that makes the effort to make things right, that becomes a real problem. Whenever you discuss, you're in disagreements, you go each their own way. If you feel like you're the only one that's all the time tries to make things right, you have to be the one that's wrong so they can feel right in order to take you back. It's maybe time to think again. Normal relationships have fight, and fights are important. It's important to be in disagreement because that helps you grow. It helps you understand one another on how you function. It helps you respect the next person, their next view. It helps you live together and build something together. However, if you feel like you always have to be wrong so you can live in peace with this person, maybe it's time to reconsider. It's maybe time to go when you feel not supported. Every person has ambitions and goals, and you may have your goals and ambition. And if you feel like your partner is never there for you, purposely, and I can understand that your partner is probably busy doing other things or at work or trying to build something sustainable for both of you. But if you are working very hard for something personal and they're never there to bring in something positive for you, that's not a good sign at all. You see, when you love somebody, their problems somehow become your problems. You try to resolve them together. You try to get a common ground to try to build something together. Their worries somehow become your worries. And you try with the best that you can to make them feel strong and move them forward. Now, if you don't feel supported in your dreams, you feel like every time you get something positive, whether you have been trying to look for a job and you got an email that says, congratulations, you got the job. And you try to convey the feeling to your partner and they don't show interest. They just dismiss it like it's nothing. It's maybe time to reconsider. Good relationships are supposed to build memories, souvenirs. You're supposed to have passion every day, even though the passion may lower a little bit. But you never lose that flamme. You never lose that sustainable seed that never goes. Whenever you see that person, you feel that feeling that nothing can explain. If you feel like you have to go back into memories to find peace, to find good time, to remember how good you were, that's a red flag. You as a good relationship should be building new things, new memories. Every day feel passionate whenever you touch them, whenever you see them. You can't be holding on to the past and live today. And a lot of people live in relationships where they are forced to stay because they remember the past. They say, she used to be a good person. She used to be there for me. Or he used to be such a great guy. But is he the same person today? Is it the same relationship you're living today? Is it the same passion you're seeing today? If it's not, maybe it's time to think again. It might never go back the way it was. Somebody wise once said, a good way to test a relationship or a marriage is to look into your partner's eyes. Look straight into their eyes and see. What do you see when you look at them? Do you see love? Do you see passion? Do they still want you the way you want them? Do you still see the same person you saw many years ago when you first began? If things have changed, maybe you need to think again. But now understand that sometimes you might not like your partner every day the same way. And that's just normal. Nobody can be liked every single day. Sometimes we're fine, sometimes we're not. But if lately, whenever you see them, you see something, you see a ghost, you see something different, or the way they look at you, it's not the same way. And they've lost that passion. They've lost even the friendship, the affection they had while looking at you. Maybe it's time to reconsider. You may stop loving somebody, but still have affection for them. That is very important. And maybe your love can still be saved. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where love is gone and the affection is not apparent, maybe it's time to leave. It's maybe time to leave if you constantly live at the age of leaving him or her. Meaning, whenever you sit down by yourself and you have issues, you feel like you want to leave them. You're like, maybe I should have left her. Maybe I should have gone my way. He started again. Maybe I should just go. I should just pack and leave. And somewhere in your brain, you've already planned your way out. You already know if things ever go really wrong, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call my friend. He's going to pick me up and we're going to leave. It's maybe time for you to go. In a relationship, you shouldn't be thinking about how you want to leave. You should be thinking about building new things, building new memories, making babies, growing together, building wealth together. Not, I want to leave. Maybe I made the wrong decision. I don't want to do this because maybe he's going to leave me. I don't want to get invested too much. Maybe he's going to go or she's going to leave me. Maybe you're not in the right place. Some people can really love one another with so much passion and 10 years down the line really lose it. And it's not necessarily their fault because sometimes people grow apart. Your interests change and maybe things that really united you at the past is not there anymore. And it's very sad because these things happen. It doesn't necessarily mean you should become enemies. It just means sometimes you gotta part ways. And as bad as it sounds, that's the reality of life. And you just have to do it like matured people and sit down and talk about it. Maybe you can do something about it. And if you find that you cannot do anything about it, maybe it's really time to leave. Thank you very much for being with us. I really appreciate it. If you love what's happening, come join us, join the crew. It's with so much pleasure. I'm gonna speak to you again very soon on the next video. Bye-bye.